Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I am Crypto Kip, and today we got quite a bit to talk about, fam. Welcome to another live stream every Tuesday, Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will be here talking about the crypto markets at the Crypto Report. Join us in the chat. Let's hear what you're thinking, guys. Leave some comments. Let's talk about what's going on right now. First off, guys, couple things we got to get into today. Crypto.com getting some FUD. The banks are getting pressure from regulators. We got to talk about that. Kucoin in a lawsuit from the New York Attorney General. We got to get into that one a little bit. Bitcoin breaking down a little lower than most expected. How low can we go? $250 million worth of liquidations today. Say what? We just had some big liquidations the other day. How many more of these things do we have to have? When will we get a short squeeze? We got to talk about that as well. Little bit of an update for you guys on the Loaded Lions metaverse. What's coming for the crypto.com land? Getting excited about that. But in the meantime, there is some instability in the crypto markets, but we're not worried because we are here for the long term, guys. Anybody watching the video, I bet you're buying some bags. Let me know in the comments down below. But of course, I am joined today by my partner on the channel, Blacksea. How you doing, brother?
Doing great, guys. I hope everybody's not panicking. We're still consolidating, guys. I'm happy to be here and happy to walk through these markets with you guys.
Yeah, let's get into it. See, this chat's going a little wild. I feel it. There's some tension in the crypto markets. I mean, we'll take a peek here. I mean, you got a $940 billion market cap. We officially broke below the $1 trillion market cap as we talked about on the channel. We did expect that to happen. Honestly, a little lower than I had hoped that it went. Still within expectations, really, but I see some people in the chat, Ed, who's buying crypto today? I bought some. I bought myself $500 worth of Bitcoin today. We're doing the basics, buying a liting Bitcoin. Buying time, yes or no? We got to pull out. Let us know what you guys are thinking. Francisco Gabriel buying more Crow tomorrow. Good to see. Crypto Pete buying some Crow. Texas Crypto. What's up? Benny Blue Eyes, you're in the chat. The Mod, the Homie, the G. We appreciate you. Nazar got some QNT, H-bar, Ripple. I love it. I love it. The Crypto Keeper buying, getting some Avalanche. Guys, look at this chat. We're going wild. Smash up the like, guys. Let's talk about some of these charts. Look, guys, we're down. Bitcoin down 13% over the last 7 days. Now, remember, guys, we had a 40% pump in January, and it got a 13% dip in the last 7 days. That's a buying opportunity in my eyes. I mean, you look at the chat, I think they agree, Blacksea, but let me ask you, Blacksea, I'm going to go to the crypto market cap, of course. We've been talking about the $1 trillion level. I've got these charts for the overall market cap going all the way back to April of 2022. Take a peek at this thing and tell me what kind of games you think we're going to be playing here with this overall market cap in the next few weeks.
Well, first off, I want to tell everybody, guys, please don't panic sell right now. Please don't panic sell.
No.
It's absolutely insane, the sentiment, how fast it changed in crypto Twitter. It's absolutely nuts. I see people calling for literally $3,500 Bitcoin right now, and that's just absolutely mind-boggling. We still have some very, very strong support levels to still bounce off of. We're talking the $19,500 level on Bitcoin. There's still very key levels we need to break below in order for us to make new lows. I don't think new lows are happening, guys. Don't let the sentiment and mass hysteria of people guide your trading decisions, because if you do follow the masses, you're going to get what the masses get, and usually that will be not building wealth and probably losing money to the select few that are making money.
Yeah, and we'll look at some of these resistances, but Blacksea, I mean, come on, these crypto market, I mean, we broke through the trillion. Is there more downside? Is this altcoins bleeding? Is this Bitcoin? Is this both?
I really think that it's all we can do is look at the levels. All we can do, we did break below 21,600. That was a key level that I was looking at. However, We haven't gotten a daily close. We haven't got any substance behind it. If we start to see a weekly candle close below 21,600, then we'll start looking towards the 19,500. But, if we rip past these levels in a blink of an eye, I wouldn't be surprised for a big scam wick and for a lot of retracement back up to the upside. But in the meantime, we're going to be patient. We're going to be watching where we're going, where the market's going, where these candle closes are going. And that's all we can do.
Yeah, and I'm zooming in a little bit. I mean, here's the last month. So, guys, we predicted this. I'm proud to say, it doesn't feel good to say that I'm happy that I was right that crypto went down. But again, we know, everybody in the chat knows that there's volatility in the crypto markets. And we also know that the $1 trillion level is very, very key for Bitcoin. Now, I'll say this is a bigger breakdown outside of the trillion that I expected here in the short term. That being said, look at the last 3 months. We are kind of hitting another resistance here. We'll see if we can bounce off this. If not, maybe we break down below 900 billion. But then you kind of look I mean, we got to look at the monthly returns for Bitcoin and crypto too. 40% gains in January. We were flat in February, down 12% so far. I'm going to refresh it because it might be a little bit lower right now. Get back to the monthly here. Excuse me. Yeah, 12% in March. Historically, I mean, look at these months, BlackSea. 2022, April, May, June.
I love this chart. I love this chart. I love looking at the monthly returns and really picking apart where we're at and where we potentially could be headed here. And guys, 40% gains in January. We're just down 12%. I can't just look at we're still above 20K, guys. We're still above 20K. Like, we're not going down to $3,000 Bitcoin like how everyone's talking about. And you'd be very surprised. If you go over on crypto Twitter, the sentiment is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it really is. And we're going to look at that 20K level that you just mentioned, BlackSea, because we had to bounce off that. We're going to see if we can hold it. We'll have to see, but General Scarborough Scotty, guys, is there a Walmart special today in crypto? Absolutely. I mean, everybody's trying to buy these dips, and let's just pretend. And I don't buy it for a second. I don't think that it's going to happen. If it did, I'd celebrate. But let's just pretend, celebrate this. A $3,500 Bitcoin came. Guys, that is the opportunity, if you're not already a whole coiner, to become a whole coiner. I don't think that's going to happen at all. There's a 0.0000001 chance of that happening in my mind. I'll say this, though. I mean, could we test the recent bottom? It's possible. I still think that's unlikely. I don't think it's as unlikely as a $3,500 Bitcoin.
I think your point of view and my point of view align very, very closely with that. I really think that we could get very close to the local low of 15,500. I think we could get close to that. But do I think that we'll break below that? No, I think there's a very, very small chance and probability of that happening. However, I also will say that I think there's a low probability of us getting near the $15,500 price point. But guys, you do know that the market loves max pain, because that's how the exchanges make the most money from crypto, is by max pain. The futures contracts expiring, max pain. And to do that, big swings to the upside, to the downside along the way, and liquidating as many people as possible.
Yeah, let's talk about that max pain today. So guys, I put it on the thumbnail for a reason, because I'll be honest with you, I was not expecting to see what we're looking at right now. I was looking for a short squeeze. Now, I was anticipating that we went down to this $1 trillion market cap for crypto. I was anticipating a bounce off 21,500 for Bitcoin. We talked about this day in, day out on the channel. But I was not expecting it to come in the form of a $248.27 million long liquidation. Now, there are a couple reasons, folks, that we got this today. One being the Silvergate Bank voluntarily shutting down its doors, liquidating their assets. And now you got people that were in the wrong side of a long trade getting liquidated today. Very, very bloody. I think this mounts a case, though, for... there's only so much downside we can really get as we are moving into this bull market, guys. That being said, you could have more long liquidations. If you are leverage trading, set your stop losses, folks. Please be careful out there. There's clearly great trading opportunities with all this volatility, but I'm personally getting more and more anxious, waiting to see a huge short squeeze, a huge short liquidation. I didn't really see this one coming, but this is the reason. If you're looking for why did we come down to these levels today, folks, your answer lies in this chart right here. It's all about the greedy longs and liquidations, and you stack that on top of some of these news stories that we're going to talk about. And Blacksea, let me gently disagree with you as well. Now, you're saying you do not think there's a high likelihood. Well, I wouldn't even say it that way. I'd say you're not expecting it to hit that 15,500 price point. I'll say, as I'm watching these stories, and it's not smart to trade the news, guys, as these stories are mounting out, and we're going to talk about some of these stories. Silvergate's one of them. Crypto.com and the banking partners is one of them. Got several others. Tax implications are some of them. These are the stories that make it more likely, in my mind, that we do try to touch that low. But, you know, that being said, I'm still waiting for a short squeeze, which really I think we're due for.
I will say that the will give us the higher chance of having a move to the upside will be when there's more liquidations. The bigger the liquidations, that's like clearing the table. It's like washing the table and being like, okay, now we're going to start from scratch, guys. And when we start from scratch, that gives us an opportunity to go up to the upside because you're getting the leverage off the table. The exchanges don't really care that much to influence the price movements. And I really think that the more long squeezes we get, the more people will start piling into the shorts, and then the exchanges will want to do the opposite and have the short squeeze. They'll want to liquidate the shorts, and that's how we get these big moves to the upside. Honestly, When we usually have these really, really big moves on Bitcoin, a lot of the times it's initiated from a short squeeze.
It really is, and here's a perfect example. I mean, you guys remember January. Look at this. Yeah. I mean, you think these are big liquidations, folks. You think $248 million of big liquidation. Remember January when we went up 40%? Well, we had a $500 million liquidation on the shorts. And leading up to that, we had days in a row, 130 million, 175 million, and then 163 million of short squeezes in a row. So these are the things that we're looking about. It's all about max pain, guys. And the bears are getting excited with all of these negative news stories right now. And if you're on the right side of a short today, I congratulate you. You know, trading is good. It is effective. But you don't want to be on the wrong side of a trade on the short side as we are getting closer and closer to this bull market. If you're in one today, congratulations. You made a great call. I mean, you traded it beautifully. If you got liquidated on the long side today, my heart goes out to you guys. But Blacksea, I'm looking at this chat and it's cracking me up. Benny Blue Eyes, hey, if we get down to a 4-cent crow, he says, maxing out the credit cards, sell my blood to the point of passing out. You know, and then you got some others in the chat. Crypto Keeper, I'm going to call you out. Panic, question mark? No. But I am concerned, says Crypto Keeper. You know, Crypto Keeper, reasonable man to be concerned. Anybody in their right mind, you know, if you've got money in crypto, are you concerned today? Of course you are. If you're a sane human, nobody likes to see their money go down. These news stories are terrible. They do not look good at all. But you can't let them affect your decision making and a decision that you've made. If you're buying crypto, you're most likely buying it for a reason, because you believe in it, because you've done the research, because you know that it is here to stay. And so it's okay to be concerned, but most important thing is stick to your guns, stick to the research that you've done, and stick to your beliefs. Don't let a news story, because remember, guys, the media, who owns the media? Rich people. What do rich people are tied with? The banks. What do the banks hate? Crypto. What are the banks doing right now? They're attacking crypto, clear as day. Are they going to get away with it? Only time will tell, but I'll tell you, the answer is no. I mean, if you can, and we'll talk about some of these crypto on-ramps that are getting crushed. Crypto.com today, big FUD story coming out for Crypto.com about the on-ramps for Crypto.com, which I'm going to squash some of this FUD, some of the fear. That being said, you have a reason to be concerned. I get it. But that being said, you know, stick with the guns, and you'll be all right. let's look at the Bitcoin chart, Blacksea, because I think we got to get into this. We got to get into the specifics of what's going on right now. So, folks, 2023 is where we're at right now. Now, if you were in this crypto market like Blacksea, we've been in this market since 2015, 2016. We saw Bitcoin when it was in the $100 price range, which was unbelievable to be a part of. And now we're looking at a $20,000 Bitcoin. Well, back in 2018 and 2017 peak into the 2018 bear market, Bitcoin hit $20,000. And almost to the T today, we had a wick down to the $20,000 level. So I drew another level here on the $20,000 range. And you can see it bounced here. And then I could go back in time and you could see 2018. But we had a bounce off this. Now, you also see that we're holding above this blue trend line, which is good to see. This is one of the daily moving averages. Do you think we can hold this level? And how important is the $20,000 price level to you, Blacksea? Or are there other price levels that you're looking at right now?
I'll be honest with you. The really important level to me right now, the main level I was looking at was the 21,600. But the main level that we do not want to see a weekly candle close below would be the 19,500. Guys, we still have a week, an entire week to close above 21,600. Well, for 3 days, give or take, before we have a weekly candle close. And as long as it's above 21,600, we're okay. We're in consolidation. If it's below 21,600, the next target is 19,500. If we're trading above 19,500 and we continue to get weekly candle closes above 19,500, I still believe it's bullish continuation off the bottom.
Yeah, I'm with you. And guys, I'll tell you though, I'm going to be honest with you. I genuinely, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, if we break down below 19,500, I genuinely do not care at all. And I'm going to point out Ron Wilson in the chat saying, I'm really contemplating selling my 2018 runner. I think you're saying your 4Runner. I love those cars. To buy more crypto in the coming weeks if it goes down any further. And I'm tying that with my comment, Ron, because I just don't care if we go down. I believe in the future of crypto. There is a huge purpose. You have the Fed, guys. They came out and said they do not want to squash crypto innovation. The Fed came out. They said they don't want to squash crypto innovation. You have countries adopting Bitcoin. We need to bank the unbanked. We need something that's not associated with the Fed and the money printer. You know, turn on the magic money printer and inflate my dollar to death, right? No, we need crypto. We know it's here to stay. And so I just genuinely, guys, I don't care if it goes down below. Now, it hurts to say that. It hurts to watch it happen. And if you're in a long, I'm sorry. I don't mean to break your heart. I'm not trying to, scare you out of your position. I think we hold, but if we don't, not only do I not care, maybe I do a little bit. And in the way that I would is I get excited. I get excited because I have a job, I'm working a job and I'm making money and we're, trying to just dollar cost average. I mean, we've been taught how many days in a row? We make a video every day. We make 5 videos every single day. And in every single video, at some point, Blacksea or me, we talk about the next year being a year of consolidation. And that could be from 19,000 to 35,000. Maybe we break to 40,000. Maybe we break down to 15,000. But that's nothing compared to the fact that Bitcoin used to be at $200 and the fact that Bitcoin used to be at $69,000 and the fact that one day Bitcoin's going to be well past $100,000.
Yeah, honestly, it really doesn't matter at all. If you're here right now and you're accumulating right now, then hypothetically, based on past events, and I know that there's the saying of you can't base future events off of past events, but based on past events, if you're here right now, come next bull run peak, it won't even matter. It really won't even matter from here leading into the Bitcoin halving. This is a year of accumulation, in my opinion. That's based on my thesis. And it won't matter if you're buying at 15,000 or buying at 25,000, because next bull market peak I have estimated for about $160,000 conservatively when it comes to Bitcoin.
Oh gosh, I've been muted this entire time. I'm so sorry, everybody. My mic's messing up on me. Thanks for calling it out in the chat. Thank you for the save, fam. Appreciate it. Let's talk a little bit about Silvergate Capital. Let's talk a little bit about this because everybody's wondering what comes out of this. Is this what's causing the crash? Well, I think that it's a piece of it for sure. This is a heck of a headline. You know, you look at it and say, Silvergate Capital will liquidate after crypto collapse wipes out bank. Well, clearly this bank is in big trouble. They are voluntarily shutting down their doors, which is different, okay? This is different. You think back to 2008, you think of the Lehman Brothers banking crisis where, you know, people were getting their cardboard boxes and they were packing up their bags and they were involuntarily losing their job. Everything was wiped out. This is different. They're catching this fact that they're not in a good spot and they're voluntarily exiting this space and they're just cutting their losses and they're done. This is not declaring bankruptcy yet. We'll have to see. But this is certainly a reason for the issue. And I'll also say this, in Blacksea, we're going to talk more about this because crypto.com's having issue with their banking partners. But there's a concerted effort by politicians, by the media, to scare banks from dabbling with crypto. What are your thoughts on that? And how successful do you think they can be?
Yeah, you know, I think what they're really trying to do is the politicians don't want some of the banks that aren't truly a part of the club to start adopting crypto, because the main banks, the ones that are part of the club, tinfoil hats on guys, they don't want crypto because it's competition. And these other smaller banks do want to offer crypto because, well, it's a service that people are looking for. So they're trying to scare some of these other banks out of using them, because once the smaller banks use them, well, guess what, guys? The bigger banks are going to lose market share. And then, you know what? Then they might lose a significant amount of market share. And obviously, they don't want that to happen.
No, they really, really don't. And I definitely think it's an obvious battle here. You look at, I don't want to get political here. It's not about politics, guys, but there are certain politicians that they get paid by the banks to push an agenda, okay? The banks have all the money elects the politicians, and the politicians try to sway the policy by saying things during public hearings, saying things in front of the media, and then the media, who's also bought and paid for, by the way, spreads the word, and the goal here is to fear banks from getting into crypto, to try to basically cut off crypto from getting any new cash flow coming in. And so we're going to talk a little bit in a little bit here about crypto.com's banking partner having some trouble in Europe. They're really trying to kind of cut the head off of crypto right now. I just don't see them succeeding. I think it just causes FUD, which is exactly what they want. They're trying to kill crypto. They will not succeed. Gary Gensler's making comments about, we're going to talk a little bit about that here in a bit, but they're just not going to succeed with this. And here's another story that's coming out recently. Now, the New York Attorney General, which doesn't surprise me at all, guys. The New York Attorney General, New York is anti-crypto. We've seen this for months and months and months during the last bull market. I have a cousin lives in New York, and he lived in New York, and he was trying to buy some of the coins that I was telling him about. Well, he couldn't access these tokens because New York didn't allow, he was trying to buy them on Coinbase, wouldn't allow them to list the token. They have strict crypto regulations because, you know, where are most of the big banks headquartered? New York, guys. That's a fact, okay? And New York Attorney General sues Kucoin now for selling securities and commodities without registration. Now, in addition to this, Ethereum has been called a security in this New York court. How about that? I mean, that is another reason that we're seeing some of these markets fearful today. I mean, this is some of the stuff that's designed to bring these markets down.
Yeah, I think that they're going to try to say, honestly, if Ethereum is a security, then 99% of all crypto is a security. And I just don't think they're going to get away with calling Ethereum a security. And I don't think they're going to get away with saying that crypto entirety is a security, because it's not. It's not. It is something that they don't not know how to classify it. And that's why they're just trying to sweep it underneath and say, oh, it's a security, let's get rid of it. They're not going to be able to do that, guys.
No, they're not. But the efforts still continue, and you know, and this was another one. The Biden administration wants to double capital gains tax, which is brutal to think about. I do not think they're going to get away with this. This is a political ploy here. They're trying to get constituents, and they're trying to get people excited. You know, tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. How many times have you heard this? That doesn't really make a lot of sense when you look into it, right? I mean, you got to really look into that one. But the other thing they're trying to get rid of is the crypto wash sales, which maybe they do get rid of crypto wash sales. I'll say this. I mean, crypto wash sales are spectacular. If you don't know what a crypto wash sale is, well, basically it says that, let's just say you have some Bitcoin yesterday and you had it at $22,000 and now it's down to $20,000 today. Well, you could sell that Bitcoin for a loss at $20,000, and then you could buy Ethereum, and you could instantly take that tax write-off. So you'd take the loss on the $22,000 down to $20,000 drop for Bitcoin. That's a loss. Then you'd buy the Ethereum, and you'd be right back in the market with no consequence. But in the regular market, if you do take a loss like that, before you enter into a similar asset, you actually need to wait 30 days before you can get back in, or else you can't declare that as a loss, which is a huge advantage for crypto, and crypto traders love that. Now, it's definitely a killer blow to crypto traders, which may potentially slow down some crypto trading a little bit. I doubt it. I don't think so. Maybe reduce some of the volatility, which I don't think so. Maybe they get rid of this. Maybe they get rid of the crypto wash sale, but I don't think they're going to be able to successfully double the capital gains tax. That's not only a crypto implication, that's an implication for large investors in the traditional market as well. And I just frankly don't think that's going to fly. Yeah. Blacksea?
There's no way that gets past Congress. And if it does, that will be a fatal blow to the U.S. economy, and it will do way, way, way more bad than good, because the people that have a significant amount of wealth will just move to a different country.
Yeah, and I got another story about that. I'll pull up in a second, but Gary Gensler's battling that comment that you just made, Blacksea, which we can laugh about in a little bit. I've got a story. We'll get to that. I want to get to that. I want to share another story with the folks, though. Vitalik Buterin dumps altcoins. Another reason crypto, but more stories, guys, more negative stories we're just going to talk about. This is not say that, hey, it's over. You know, I think we did a video earlier. You know, people are asking the question, is it over? No, it's not over. Is there volatility? Yeah, crypto is volatile, and the stories are terrible right now. But Vitalik Buterin dumped altcoins worth 220 ETH that have no moral value. Well, first of all, we got to acknowledge this, guys. There's 20,000 something tokens out in existence. A lot of them are not good coins, okay? A lot of them are not good projects. There's a lot of bad projects out there. And Vitalik Buterin, being the co-founder of Ethereum, he gets free money from people all the time. Somebody comes out with a brand new project and they send half the entire supply of that token to Vitalik Buterin, and they use it as a talking point to say, hey, this is legitimate. Vitalik Buterin holds half the supply, and so it's valuable because he's never going to dump it. Well, he is dumping these altcoins that he doesn't believe have value. And is this a bad thing? No, I actually think this is fine. There are some bad tokens out there. Cult, DAO, Byte, MOPS, coins you've never even heard of, coins you never should hear of, except for in this example that this is just more stories that are designed to cause FUD. This is a good thing. I don't know if you guys remember this, but in 2021, Vitalik Buterin actually prompted a big swing in the price of Shiba Inu when he burned his holdings worth $6 billion. He was given half the supply of Shiba Inu, as an example, which he didn't sell these because it was a bad coin. I'm not saying that Shiba Inu is a bad coin, and he's not either. He did it because he didn't want the power of holding such a significant portion of such a popular token, which is totally understandable. And he actually donated billions of dollars to a charity in India, I believe it was. So this was an interesting story, but just more FUD. This is pretty interesting. I mean, Blacksea, this is a weird question, but if you had to just take a guess, nobody's going to hold you to this. I've got an opinion on it, but what percentage of cryptos aren't valuable?
Oh man, that's a controversial question for me right there.
Right.
I'll be honest with you. A large majority. If you want me to give you a percent, me just to pull a number out, I would even go to say 80%. I would say that 80% of, if there's 20,000 coins, I would say that 80% of them are probably have no value, and a lot of them are riding on the backs of other coins that do have value.
I would agree with you because there's probably 1,000 tokens alone that have Elon Musk's name in it, which is just a ploy.
Exactly.
So, I think it's a non-story, but it's a story that people are talking about today. And here was an interesting story I want to share with you guys as well. Senator, a senior U.S. House Republican is coming out and talking negatively against CBDCs, which the Fed is talking more and more about. Now, the reason he's saying he does not like it and it can be weaponized as a political tool is something we don't really talk a lot about on this channel, but I think we do need to start looking at this more seriously, because if a CBDC does come into the picture, let's just jump back in time. You guys might remember there was some Canadian truckers that back in the day were protesting back during the pandemic, and they got locked out of their bank accounts because the government didn't agree with their protest. Now, let's just come back to this story and let's just pretend in a world where you wanted to protest against something that the government didn't like and all your money was in a CBDC. They would absolutely be able to stop you even more effectively than a bank account with a CBDC, and they'd be able to track your every single move with your money as well if you had a CBDC, especially if we moved away from cash, which I really don't think we're going to ever do. Maybe slowly over time we'll move more and more away from cash, but especially as we move towards cryptocurrencies, hopefully we do move more towards cryptocurrencies and not CBDCs, but this is definitely a threat that we got to talk about. Now, I'm not anti-CBDC, but I definitely am anti-using a CBDC as a political tool.
Yeah, I will say that I'll be frank, and I'll have a pretty, intense take on this. I'll just go out on a whim and say this. I think that you should be against CBDCs. I am against CBDCs. I think that they're bad. I think there's no reason to give a governmental power that much power over your financial freedom. And imagine if all you had was CBDCs, and now there is no more financial freedom, and the government can pause your bank account, can tell you what you can and can't buy, can tell you when you can buy things, when you can sell things. I think that could be a very, very scary future if CBDCs are created, and they could definitely be weaponized. And it's a very, very important thing to be thinking about.
Yeah. Here's the thing though, and I don't love CBDCs. I don't think we can stop them. And if we can't stop them, as long as cryptocurrency still exists, as long as you can still have your Bitcoin, then CBDC all you want. I'm just not going to have my money in that central dollar, right? I'm just not. Guys, majority of my money is in crypto. I don't know if you guys have figured that out. I don't know. I'm almost all in on crypto. I got some cash, I'm saving up for a property. I got other financial goals other than just buying only crypto, but I love crypto for a reason, because it's not a CBDC, because it's not the inflationary dollar, which is definitely no good right now. And as long as we have Bitcoin, I could live in a world with a CBDC. I just wouldn't have my important funds in it, right? I'd have my maybe a little stack of cash in there, but really I'd have my emergency funds in Bitcoin, to be honest with you, kind of like I do right now. If I'll give you guys an example, heck, I'm getting married. That's coming up, guys. I had to buy a ring, and I sold crypto to buy that ring. So that was my emergency fund, was crypto, right? It's fine, and that's good for me. That works for me. And so if a CBDC comes out, as long as I can have crypto, that's fine. That being said, I think it's definitely dangerous. I think it's definitely dangerous, and I think there's going to be a lot of people that will be caught in the trap. And so in that regard, it's no good. But for me personally, I'm not going to get affected by it because I'm going to avoid it at all costs, personally.
Yeah, I would just say keep a close eye on it and make sure that they don't overreach, because there's definitely a possibility of that.
Oh, we know they'll overreach. We know, if there's anything we know about the government for sure, is that they love to overreach. Hey, let's double your capital gains tax. Hey, let's do this and that. It's left and right. Let's turn on the money printer. Let's give everybody some free money, and then, oh, sorry, we're gonna raise all the interest rate. Like, this whole mess we're in right now is a disaster. The economists
It's a scam. It's a scam.
It's a scam. Whoa! It's a scam. That's right. It's a scam. So we talked a little bit about Ethereum being considered as a security earlier. Well, that just came out today. Well, yesterday, the CFTC chair said that Ethereum is a commodity. So, the New York Attorney General says this, and the CFTC chair says that. What does that tell us? It tells us that there is no clarity on any of this. There is no.
They have no idea what they're talking about. They don't even know what they're talking about. They just talk, but they have no idea what they're saying. It's absolutely crazy. Them all just contradicting each other and then being like, yeah. It's crazy that it's at this point. I just would really like to see some people come into the picture here in the Congress or somewhere in this power that can sit down and talk with them. And actually, somebody who actually has experience in the space and has a little bit of intelligence about cryptocurrency and Web3, just to actually talk them through the ecosystem and what it's set up and what it can do, what it can't do, and just actually get some actual clarity on this all. Because when they start talking like this and contradicting each other, they just look foolish.
If somebody could just properly explain what Squid Game's token and Will Smith Inu coin is to Gary Gensler, then he might fully embrace cryptocurrency. We'll just have to see. Guys, look, these are some hilarious tokens out there, and they crack me up. I love you guys are bringing them out in the chat. There's some bad ones, but that being said, to your point, Blacksea, nobody's coming out with true positioning on this, because I genuinely agree with you, and I just don't think they understand it. I think they're trying to figure it out. In the meantime, they just feel threatened by... You feel threatened by what you don't know. Let me use an example. We go back to the pandemic, and you think about how scared people were when it first came out. You didn't touch doorknobs. You didn't leave your house. You're scared for your life, and then... Fast forward 2 months, that sentiment changed. Fast forward another 2 months, it changed again. And now fast forward to today, there's still cases of this thing going around, but people don't wear masks anymore. And we figured out, there's different levels of fear. And so what's my point? You fear what you don't know. It's a new thing that came out. and you're scared of it. Now, crypto's mainstream more than it's ever been so for the first time in history. It's getting talked about by almost every governing body across the country and across the world at this point. You have the World Economic Forum talking about crypto. You have all these different events talking about crypto across the globe, but they still don't quite understand it. And until we get there, the regulation's not going to come. And in the meantime, it's just grasping at straws to try to understand it and coming out with statements like, oh, Ethereum's a commodity. Oh, no, it's a security. Oh, we don't know. And Gary Gensler is coming out with all these cases. He opposed the Binance.us deal. They're going through with the Binance.us acquiring Voyager. It's coming anyway. It's coming anyway. You look at also SEC losing some of these other cases recently. They're losing these cases because they're not actually coming out with any guidelines. They're not actually coming out with any true regulation just because they don't know yet. They don't know. And, they want to call crypto and Ethereum a security, but they're not coming out with any guidelines for why they're calling that. And now Gary Gensler is coming out. I wanted to talk about this earlier. Gary Gensler is coming out and saying, I reject crypto's threat to move overseas. The path to compliance is clear, he says in an interview. The path to compliance couldn't be any less clear, folks. He says it's as simple as going on a website and clicking a couple links and filling out a form. Meanwhile, the CEO of Kraken paid a $30 million fine, tweeted out saying, boy, wish I knew where to go to find that link instead of paying $30 million. Do you think for a second that he would have paid $30 million over going online and registering properly with the SEC? Absolutely not. The guidelines are not clear. And to Gary Gensler's point of rejecting crypto's threat to move overseas, he's in no position to reject that. If you look at some of these quotes, we'll lose more money if investors get harmed here, says Gary Gensler in an SEC quote here. It's basic bargain in finance. If you want to raise money from the public, disclose certain facts and figures. What else do you need? It is blockchain technology. If you look at these exchanges, Gary, and you look at the ones that are doing it right, like Crypto.com and Binance, that are listing their balance sheets and they're listing how much they have, the assets versus liabilities. How much more clear do you need than a blockchain?
Yeah, I can only imagine how hard it must be for some of these bigger crypto exchanges and some of these other players in the crypto industry right now, where they're asking, please tell us what we need to do to comply. And then the regulators say, oh, you don't have to do anything right now. And then they're like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, okay. And then the regulators go, hey, you messed up. You need to pay us $30 million. I cannot imagine having to deal with that, because basically it's almost as if they don't want to clarify the regulations, because first off, that'll be the green light of passage for crypto. And second off, then they're not going to be able to make all this money finding these guys because there's no rules. They can just make up the rules and make up the punishments themselves.
Yeah, that's a great point. And you know what, Blacksea? The courts are starting to reject them. And it might be only a matter of time before Gary Gensler loses his role. I mean, it is getting increasingly more possible. I really feel like he's losing his grip here. He's just grasping at straws, and he doesn't have any true regulation. He's just saying, no, it's not allowed. And then the judges are going, well, can you point to the regulation that you've created? And he's got no path to even creating the regulation that would be necessary for the judges to side with the SEC. So it's just a joke. Gary Gensler is a joke. And so is this whole FUD with these banks. This is the biggest FUD I've seen for Crypto.com in a while. We haven't seen a lot of Crow FUD, but here was a big one for you guys. And, I don't like to see it, but I don't think it changes anything with Crypto.com. I just think it's another piece of FUD. Crypto.com struggles to maintain fiat on-ramps in the face of crypto banking crisis. The whole story here, guys, is that some of its banking partners in Europe are trying to limit what they have going on in terms of people depositing their money from their banks in Europe into the Crypto.com exchange. It's still really easy to move your money out of Crypto.com into the banks, but the on-ramp is getting more difficult. Why? Because you see politicians talking time and time again about, if you're a bank, I strongly urge you to move away from banking crypto banks. You know, being a crypto bank, they're trying to push it away. They're having small success. But I'll tell you this, Crypto.com is doing a great job of being compliant. And here was a tweet that I saw where somebody was just losing their mind over this. And I think this is a good thing. This was a screenshot from Crypto.com. Dear valued customer, please be informed that the following regulations you are required to provide personal information in the Crypto.com app before April 6th of 2023 in order to fully access your Euro fiat wallet. They want all these details right here. And the goal is, guys, for Crypto.com is not to cause more hurdles for you to jump over, not to make your putting money through your bank into Crypto.com more difficult, but they're trying to survive in the face of the threats that the banks are getting. And the banks are saying, Crypto.com, you know, hey, we want to bank with you. We want to be your banking partner, says this European bank. But in order to do this, what I'm seeing, guys, is they're setting some requirements for Crypto.com. And Crypto.com, what are they doing? They're trying to comply, which is what Crypto.com seems to be spectacular at, is complying. And you look at this tweet, and I'm not going to use some of the negative language in here, but, you know, say, hey, it's the final straw. I'm out. It's centralized. CDC, you're doing everything they can do to make you hold the bag, and they're too busy playing JPEGs to figure it out. You know, he's not looking into this fella, and you got to really look into these things and think about it. And what's the real story here is Crypto.com's trying to remain compliant so that we can have our on-ramp. And you look at what they're saying on their Twitter, they're not worried about this. They're not coming out on Twitter and addressing this because I don't think it's a huge concern for them right now. In fact, they're talking about, hey, this huge bone trading campaign leading into the Shibarium. Bone is the gas that's going to be needed for Shibarium and Shiba Inu. So they're really just ignoring it. But Blacksea, I mean, what are your thoughts here on Crypto.com and this banking partner relationship and some of these requirements that they're putting in place?
I think that, they wouldn't be doing this unless they had to do this. They wouldn't be doing this unless they had to do this to protect themselves. I think that they're trying to follow all the rules, and there's nothing wrong with that. You should be happy. Well, first off, it stinks that the regulators are pushing so hard, even though they have such unclear regulations to be followed. But that being said, that forces Crypto.com and the exchanges that are complying to really go that extra mile and follow these rules. And I would even go to far enough to say that I believe that they're pushing some regulations, Crypto.com themselves, and just planning for the regulations that haven't even come into place yet, such as asking for that type of information. And, you know, they're just doing what they have to do to be a player in this industry. And if they follow the rules and continue to do this, I mean, guys, let's back up a second. Crypto.com has the most licenses in the entire world when it comes to crypto exchanges. They're following the rules because they are a long-term player that is going to be around for the next 10, 20 years, guys. And that's why I have such high conviction in Crypto.com.
I'm with you, Blacksea. And there's other things too. I mean, let's talk a little bit about this main city launch as well. I mean, the regulation's huge, guys. Look, there's some FUD going on, but remember, guys, everybody was saying Crypto.com's going to have a bank run during the FTX collapse. Didn't happen, folks. Did not happen. And yeah, Crypto.com, Kucoin's going down today, but just a buying opportunity. And there's a lot of things to be excited about. Before I get into the main city, Mr. Plan Profit, thanks for putting it in the chat. Smash up some of the emojis, guys. If you want to become a member, I think I was muted a little bit there, but guys, Mr. Plan Profit, Benny Blue Eyes, Texas, you got Nazar. Smash up the like, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We're getting excited. We're going to keep these videos coming to you guys. These live streams are continuously coming. If you want to be a member, check out the chat down below or in the description down below. And I think pinned to the top of the chat as well, you can quickly click a link there and get access to become a member on the channel. But let's talk a little bit about this main city, guys. More updates. They are releasing more of this glossary, talking a little bit about what's going to be happening in game. Booster, single-use item. It accelerates business. These will be cool. Inventory, where you can hold your blueprints, your businesses, and furniture. There's a marketplace to buy businesses and blueprints. XP, experience to kind of upgrade and go to the next level in the game. Furniture, some of the items you'll have in your mansion. So just revealing more, which is great to see. Blacksea, you do dabble a lot with the NFTs. You've done some great work with the Clanosaurs, making some good money on that. What are your thoughts on how Loaded Lions are doing? It's clearly not like a Clanosaur, I understand that, but are they getting better in your eyes?
I mean, I'm just happy to see some information. The more information they come out with. Now, when I say this, guys, it's important to make the difference here. The more information they come out with, the more Loaded Lions will pump in price, and the happier and more eager I will be to see the game. Okay. That being said, I don't want them to dump all the information out, because then the hype will die. There's very, very strict criteria you need to follow when it comes to building an NFT line and keeping the price up and keeping the users interested. You need to keep their attention interested. But I will say, I'm very, very happy to see some more information getting pulled out. But I will say this, I think they could have done a little bit better when it comes to this, because they're waiting so long in between each announcement. You're expecting a big announcement every time. They need to be trickling this information out on a day-to-day basis, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I'd like to see a little bit more. And the Clanosaurs are really a great example of their trickling, and they're hilarious. I mean, the comments they got going on, some of the images they put out, some of the memes they get out are hilarious. I'd like to see a little bit more about that. Loaded Lions is trying to do it. They're not as successful with it, I think. But that being said, the Loaded Lions community is certainly strong, and I know a lot of the folks are excited for it. Mr. Planned Profit calling you out, saying, hey, you think Loaded Lions will be 10K floor in the next bull market? Maybe. We'll have to see. Let me know if you guys agree with Mr. Planned Profit. I would love to see some of that. Francisco Gabriel with some Cyber Cubs. Love to see that as well. I got me a Cub. I think I got 2 Cubs, actually, and I do have a Lion as well. Quite a bit of land, so I'm getting excited for this, but I want you guys to just kind of take a look at this. So these are all your top exchanges. Now, as Crypto.com's getting FUDed right now, let's think back. Here's all the exchanges, the top exchanges in order. Binance, did that get FUDed? Yep. Coinbase, did that get FUDed? Yep. Kraken, yep. Kucoin, today, yeah, lawsuit against him. Bitstamp, absolutely. Bitfinex, yep. OKX, I don't know if I saw any on that one. Gate.io certainly got some FUD there. Bybit got a lot of FUD because of some of the VPN situations with that. Binance US, oh, we've heard all about that. Gemini, Winklevoss twins, and a lot of trouble. Crypto.com, I could go on and on. Every single crypto exchange gets FUD. Why? Because that's just how it is, guys. The banks are scared of the banks of the future, and the banks of the future is my crypto wallet and your crypto wallet, and these exchanges that are allowing us access to buy these tokens. It's just so obvious, guys. Zoom out, and relinquish yourself from some of these doubts, okay, guys? We're giving away a Loaded Lion at 25,000 subscribers on the channel. To enter this giveaway, follow us at _crypto report on Twitter. If you're a member on the channel, like Texas Crypto, like Benny Blue Eyes, like Crypto Runner, like everybody in the chat, then you get an additional 10 entries for every month you're a member, and there's going to be more perks for the members. Can you tell us a little bit more about what we got for the members, Blacksea?
Yeah, our private Discord is a blast, guys. I really have fun talking with you all. We have a lot more of a tight-knit community with you guys, so it's really cool to talk with you all. And on top of that, we do have trade signals, NFT alpha, and NFT whitelist spot giveaways. If you were in the Discord, you would have seen that I was talking about Clanosaurs for a while, and there's going to be many more to come, and it's a lot of fun, guys.
It is a lot of fun, and you get the loyalty badges, and you get those sweet emojis that everybody's putting out in the chat. So if you want to become a member, join us, guys. Look, we have a lot of consolidation. We got a lot of sideways action. So if you join us on the Discord, we can talk all about all the moves we're making, what coins we're dollar cost averaging into. We still haven't done it, but I do want to create a crypto report portfolio, and we can start sharing that on the channel. And I can tell you guys a little bit about when we're trying to buy as we get closer to this bull market. So there's a lot of things to be excited about, but just remember, guys, it is about the long game here, and it is about dollar cost averaging as we move towards the Bitcoin halving in 2024. And then 2025, I think we're going to still have some upward movement, possibly in 2025, especially as we kind of see some of this volatility here, increasingly so over these next couple weeks. So any comments there in the chat I want to peek at real quick? Blacksea, how about you? You got any parting words for the crypto community here?
Yeah, I do want to say I see Richard Merrill in the chat asking what I think the bottom of CRO may be, and I do think that the bottom is in. I don't really think we're going to be going much lower than 5.5 cents. I don't think that that's really in the cards unless we make a new low on Bitcoin, which I don't think is going to be happening. But that being said, guys, black swan events can happen. Big price moves, macroeconomics can get really, really bad sometimes and bring everything down. So, trading is just a game of probability and statistics, and the probability of us going lower than 5.5 cents on Kucoin is relatively low, but there's still a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a possibility. The big event we all got to look out for is, are we getting a 0.25% interest rate hike come the end of March here from the Fed, or are we going to get a 0.5% interest rate hike? If we get a 0.5% interest rate hike, there's a little bit more downside that I would expect, and I think maybe that could at least bring us down to the low for CRO. If not lower, but we'll have to take it, one step at a time. And really, guys, just going back to what we talked about earlier, does it matter? I don't think so, because if you're in these crypto markets, you're not trying to make money overnight. If you are, you're most likely going to lose. Okay, we don't want to try to make millions overnight. You're gonna overtrade. You're probably going to take some losses that way. It's about the long term, guys. It's about the long term. It's about the future of this asset class that's coming. We reached a $3 trillion market cap in the last bull market, guys. There's no reason we can't hit that and then some in the future. Bitcoin's market cap, one day I think it could flip the market cap of gold with just $12 trillion, and that's just Bitcoin. So we'll have to keep an eye, folks.
Yeah, I think that there's a good chance. I see the chat, people saying 0.5 basis rate point hike. I tend to agree with that, unfortunately, but what we really have to look out for is, after this 0.5 basis rate point hike, how high are we really going to go? If we keep raising these rates and it starts to get out of hand, I think the Federal Reserve tends to overdo it a little bit. They're kind of a little bit late to the party, and they'll overdo it, and they won't realize that they overdo it until after they overdo it, because it's lagging. You'll see a lagging data every time they raise rates. So it is pretty rough to see, but we're just going to have to take it one step at a time, guys.
One step at a time, guys. That's really all we got. Keep an eye on these crypto charts, fam. Make sure you guys are staying calm. We're here for the long term. That's the stream for the night. Guys, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. It goes a long way in helping the channel. If you like this content, the best thing you can do to help the channel is hit that like, leave a comment, and show some love, guys. We appreciate and love each and every one of you guys. Love doing these live streams. We have so much fun, guys. That's all we got. This is the Crypto Report. I'm Crypto Kip. That was Blacksea. Do not forget, folks, to DCA HODL, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. See you next time. Peace.